Hello everyone, this is MC Deck Discussions and I'm Abby Small, and today I wanted to talk about Avengers Mansion and when it is that a person chooses to use Avengers Mansion in a deck. In other words, include it when you build a deck. So what I wanted to start off with first to show that this is a ubiquitous card. It's in the core set and you can find it in many other of the hero packs and even one of the big box expansions. So let me click on it now. And first, let's introduce it, and then let you know what this video is about. I already mentioned it a little bit. Well, actually, let's start with that. So what I wanted to do was share when I decide to include Avengers Mansion in decks, but I also wanted people to comment and share when do they include Avengers Mansion. I think some people include Avengers Mansion in just about every deck. So if you do, why do you do that? Also, a person might make a different decision based on multiplayer versus single player. So I play pretty much only single player, though I'm hoping in the future to be able to play some multiplayer. But I play only single player, so my decision could be very different. Avengers Mansion is useful for an entire table. It has Avengers Mansion, it's max 1 per player, and it has this action, exhaust Avengers Mansion. Choose a player, that player draws 1 card. So that means that, it's a highly valuable card once it's out there, not just for the individual player, but for the entire table working together as a team. So it has a lot of value for sure, but it costs 4. So that can also have an impact. So I'm going to focus in on single player, but I'd love to hear what other people have to say about when they include it, or if they include it all the time, how often, what kind of decks they include it in. Right. So for me personally, there are 2 basic types of situations in which I usually include Avengers Mansion in my decks. Again, from the perspective of myself and my style for a solo player. There are also lots of different styles of play that people have, approaches to it. And for sure, people who are doing rush decks would have a tendency not to use Avengers Mansion. Right? So it's meant to be more of a long-term type of play. So when do I include it? I definitely don't include it in all my decks. In fact, my standard would be not to include it. So the times when I include it are 2 main situations. The first one is when I have a hero that has naturally occurring resources that are easy to generate, then I will often include Avengers Mansion as a card that can be put into play pretty easily, by the time you make it one pass through your deck, if the situation warrants it at the time. But there might be situations that don't, where you're just like, hey, I'm sacrificing too much to play it now. I could literally lose the game or set myself up to lose the game in a couple of turns if I play it now because of its expense. So that's why I tend to choose not to use Avengers Mansion unless I have a special situation. So that first situation I mentioned. So I'll mention some of those heroes that I think are particularly friendly to including Avengers Mansion in the decks that I build. Before I do, I might as well mention the other situation when I usually include Avengers Mansion, and that's when I have these 2 particular resource cards. Let me go ahead and share those. All right, so actually this will be a good example of 2 situations at the same time. So these are those resource cards. So if I've already included all of the regular doubles, and I've also included the Power in All of Us, right, that doubles the number of resources this card generates when paying for a basic, card, a gray card, like Avengers Mansion, then I include it because now I have essentially 5 doubles that can play Avengers Mansion relatively easily. And if I have 1 copy of the Power in All of Us, or 2 of them, or I have 1 copy of this and any of the double resources such as energy, genius, and strength, then very easily Avengers Mansion gets put into play, or even just having 1 of them. And when I have 5 possible cards, energy, genius, strength, and the 2 copies of the Power in All of Us in my deck, the odds are relatively high that I am going to have 1 of those cards in my hand at the same time that I have Avengers Mansion in my hand. It'll make it relatively easy to play Avengers Mansion and then immediately exhaust it and draw a card and be able to play something else. So that's the typical situation when I will include the Power in All of Us. And that would usually be in decks that have a lot of allies that are basic allies. This one doesn't happen to have a lot of those, but Bishop is special. But that's the situation, right? Lots of allies that are basic, and then lots of supports that are basic, right? So in this deck, we have Avengers Mansion, the X-Jet, Utopia, and Weapon X. Now, interestingly enough, when I have, although Weapon X only costs 1, so I don't really count that card. It would be cards that are basic, that cost at least 2. Then there's a reason for having the Power in All of Us in there. There might be other reasons, but would be the main reason. Okay? So decks that have a lot of those type of cards. Typically, if I have at least 8 of those, but there are other situations where it could be fewer than that, when I might include a couple of copies of the Power in All of Us for, that I see a special need in a deck where it could be reasonable. So that's the main situation when it's not hero specific. That's the main situation when I include Avengers Mansion, when I have 2 copies of the Power in All of Us, because it's a deck that has lots of basic cards. And it could be basic events as well, contributing to that. Then the other situation that I started to mention was specific heroes. Bishop is a great example of a specific hero that, well, first of all, I would tend to include the Power in All of Us in a Bishop deck to begin with. But also, Bishop can gain resources really easily because he has his ability. For those who may want a reminder of this, or maybe have never seen Bishop played. So after Bishop takes any amount of damage, let me click on it. So after Bishop takes any amount of damage from an attack, discard an equal number of cards from the top of your deck. Add each resource card discarded this way to your hand. Like, it doesn't get any better than that, right? So he can readily get resources available to play Avengers Mansion easily, get Avengers Mansion out and ready, and go ahead and exhaust it and draw yourself a card. And then you're able to draw a card from then on the rest of the game, right? So we have both examples there. So let me go ahead and I can think of, off the top of my head, I can think of at least one other hero that I tend to include Avengers Mansion in all the time other than Bishop. But before this video is over, I'll probably pause it and see if I can find another hero. But let me go to that other hero that I usually include Avengers Mansion in. And that hero is Psylocke. Now, Psylocke is one that people might not intuitively think would be, one where you would include it, because Psylocke only has a hand size of 4 on her hero side. She does have a hand size of 6 on the other side, so maybe, in the very first round, that's particularly advantageous, or when you go to Alter Ego. However, she has something no other hero has, and that is her Psy energy cards here. So for Psylocke's permanents, she has 2 of these Psy knives, or they're Psy knives on one side and Psy katanas on the other, and both of them are resource generators, whether they're on the knife side or a katana side. So even though you only have 4 cards in your hand, you have 2 resource generators, and then all you need is for one other double to show up, and then so that's just 1 extra card, and you already able to get Avengers Mansion out and possibly get it out earlier. Like I said, if you go down to Alter Ego side and it with 6 cards in your hand, then pop on over to your hero side. Now you have 2 resource generators and 6 cards in your hand. Wouldn't even really matter a lot of the time if you even had a double in your hand. So she is the other one that I tend to typically include it. Notice those basic doubles resources are not in this deck, yet I did include Avengers Mansion. So let me think through before I finish the video about if there are any other heroes where I tend to include Avengers Mansion. I'll at least mention those who I think are interesting choices of possibilities. So for sure, Black Panther, right? I think Black Panther has the triples. Oh, that's not the right Black Panther. That would be this Black Panther, right? The original one, T'Challa. So, for example, this isn't a deck that happens to include Avengers Mansion. However, T'Challa's decks have 3 copies of Vibranium in them, so that's 6 possibilities to be able to get Avengers Mansion into play pretty easily. So T'Challa is definitely a possible hero that I would at least consider it. In addition to that would be Spider-Man Peter Parker. in the same situation. So I don't necessarily include it most of the time, but I would at least consider it for Spider-Man. So Spider-Man has that card draw every single time he's being attacked. So him being able to get that card draw plus, it's very easy to, he's a genius, so it's very easy to include some other cards that generate resources really easily. So Spider-Man could definitely be, Spider-Man Peter Parker would be a definite consideration, and so would Spider-Ham. Right? So again, this isn't a deck where I included it, but Spider-Ham's ability here where each toon counter gives him another wild resource. So every time he gets attacked, he gets another one of those. So he could easily have the resources available in order to include Avengers Mansion. So another consideration for me. Like I said, I tend not to include Avengers Mansion generally, but certain characters where I would consider it more often, a couple of characters where I would most of the time use it, and then it tends to be, if I have those basic doubles, then I tend to put Avengers Mansion in. Let me see if there are any others that strike me. Captain Marvel would have to be a consideration, especially if you're using a deck that goes down to Alter Ego regularly, such as a Justice deck that has lots of confusion available, and because of her Alter Ego ability, right? She has the Commander on her Alter Ego action, choose a player to draw one card, so that automatically gives you extra resources available to play Avengers Mansion. I think Domino is an excellent consideration. So first of all, she already has her jackpot card that is a triple resource. But on top of that, your Alter Ego ability. So again, if you're going to go down to Alter Ego regularly, she has this action, choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your discard pile, and perhaps even her hero action too, right? Choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your deck. That's a bit more random, but with her Alter Ego ones, choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your discard pile. If Avengers Mansion or a double or her jackpot is in the discard pile, then all of those are some really nice possibilities to get Avengers Mansion out into play relatively easily. I think another nice consideration is Hulkling. So Hulkling's Alter Ego ability. So again, if you plan on going to Alter Ego regularly, you have his shape changer ability action, search your deck and discard pile for a shapeshift upgrade and add it to your hand. Those shapeshift upgrades are all doubles. Now there are other considerations with Hulkling because you sometimes want to, you don't always want to use those as resources, but that does make it really nice, especially for the very beginning of the game. On the other hand, you sacrifice some possible setup for that. So it might not be something that somebody would want to do after all, but I still think it's a reasonable consideration for Hulkling. And again, it could be that for you and your playstyle, every deck is a reasonable consideration for Avengers Mansion. I'm talking about the way I think of it. Then in my mind, then Hulkling would be a reasonable one with the way I think of the game myself. Magik is another nice consideration. In fact, this happens to be a deck that includes Avengers Mansion, but it also has the power in all of us too. But Magik has that extra thing that's special about her, and that is play with the top card of your deck face up. And once per phase, you may play the top card of your deck as if it were in your hand. So if you have Avengers Mansion as the top card in your deck, then it costs just 3 now to play, and so Avengers Mansion could be used really well there. It could possibly get into play relatively easily too. Magneto would make for another excellent consideration, although I have a tendency, because since Magneto is an X-Men hero, I have a tendency not to include it in X-Men decks, because X-Men decks are often begging to have too many other supports already in the deck. So I tend not to place it in X-Men decks generally. And notice it isn't in here, but he does have 2 copies of Master of Magnetism that are both double resources. So if you combine those with, the other regular double resources, or in this deck, which is a pool deck, I even have the possibility of triple resources here. So it certainly could have been a real consideration in a deck like this. All right, and then the last one that would be a serious consideration for me to include Avengers Mansion would be Venom, and that's because Venom has this hero ability, Symbiotic Bond, resource, take 1 damage, generate a wild resource. So automatically then that's an extra resource available to be able to play Avengers Mansion, making it essentially one cheaper than to play in most other heroes decks, right? And now in this case, again, we had extra considerations. We've got all these basics in here, which I didn't include the basics, but we have, all 3 copies of these self cards in pool: self-confidence, self-control, and self-preservation. That could possibly make it really easy to play Avengers Mansion Avengers Mansion. And so that's it. So again, I'm looking for input from other people. When do you include Avengers Mansion? Is it something you consider including all the time, or you tend not to include at all? Or, what is it? What do you think about when you decide that you're going to play Avengers Mansion? And if you make comments about that, other people can see other ways that people maybe think about it, why they may or may not want to include it. Okay, that's it for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I appreciate comments. Talk to you later. Bye.